Hi, my name is Joe, and you are listening to A Spot of Joe, which is a spot of me, of course. Um, I would like to talk to you about being an opportunist. So, opportunism. Do you know what an opportunist is? A show of hands. I actually just forgot I can't see your hands, so I'm going to imagine that some of you are raising them and some of you aren't, and I'm just going to go the same direction I was going to go before. Um, an opportunist is somebody who jumps at the best opportunity. Now, sometimes you might see a person who jumps at an opportunity as somebody who's not great, especially if they're a friend of yours. They'll be like, "Oh well, I invite this dude out all the time, but sometimes he just jumps at the best opportunity. He doesn't really want to see me. He just wants to see the he wants to see me for the opportunity I'm giving him." And it sucks because you want to be close to that person, right? And you want your friend to value your time. And I've been in that situation where I planned something with a friend and he made a mistake, and um, he made it up to me, but it felt bad because it felt like he didn't value me. At the same time, I've been in the situation where I've planned something and I've changed my plans because I was looking for something else in my life. I wanted to do, I wanted to create, um, I wanted to have a fun weekend. A different thing came along, so I have done that in the past, and I didn't feel great about it. So um, I've noticed that the term opportunist definitely creates a sense of this person is he's not that great of a person. Like, this person is sticky, but I want to say that I want to give a different light to that. The reason is being an opportunist is being smart. Okay, you didn't realize that being an opportunist is being intelligent about your time, being intelligent about what's going on in your life. There were times when I've had friends which were great for me. Some people that were not really getting anywhere in life. Some people that were stuck in cycles and stuck in addictions, and some people that were, uh, that weren't creating anything with their life that was beneficial to them or to anyone, um, and that were in fact leeching off the people around them. And I was a leech at one point in my life as well, and I realized that I was a leech, and I realized that the things I needed to do were to focus on myself, improve myself as much as I could, that I would enjoy life and give happiness to the people around me. Now, of course, giving is important, but you need to make sure that your focus is on yourself. And I felt great because I would make sure I kept the best opportunities in my life, and that I would make sure to put myself first, but also give to those around me because I care about those around me. I have friends that I enjoy to spend time with, and I make friends based on mutual benefit. So, like, I'm not going to make a friend if it only benefits them, and I'm not going to make a friend if it only benefits me. The reason is, if I make a friend that only benefits me, that's a worker, and it's not really a friend. And I do have people that work for me, and I help them out in any way I can. Education. In the future, I'll help them by giving kickback money, of course. And that's just how the world works. You want to make sure that the friends around you are your friends, and you're having a mutually beneficial relationship. So I've um, I've realized that I'm an opportunist with people. In addition, I'm an opportunist with jobs. I've never kept a job, and for the longest time, well, I actually never really blamed myself. But with the first sign of trouble, I would jump ship for the next best thing. And the next best thing was, possibly sitting on my own and, losing money. And then I realized I couldn't do that. So then I had to somehow make money. So it helped me become an entrepreneur, learning that I was an opportunist, learning that I couldn't settle for something that was subpar, because I was always looking for the best opportunity. So once I realized all these things, that my go-to strategy for getting the most out of life, people have different strategies. My go-to strategy is being an opportunist. I was able to take advantage of it. There's this bossy quadrant system, BOSI quadrant system, or like BOSI, something like that. I don't know where it is. I'd have to look at the picture, but BOSI. B is the builder. That's somebody who builds communities. O is the opportunist, which is like me, somebody who jumps from opportunity to opportunity, whose goal is to sip Mai Tais on a beach and travel the world while making money in their sleep because they took the best opportunities and invested it in the right way and built drop shipping systems. Somebody like Tim Ferriss, who created a whole automated system and course load and blog and podcasts to be able to share his wealth with the world and his experience in creating what he wanted to create, which was freedom for himself. I'm doing the same, and I know I will achieve it because I will. I'm adaptable. I'm going through the hardships. I've already passed a lot of those that most people just drop out of because those are the people who want the image. I don't just want the image. I'm willing to go through the hardship, which is something that I've learned is necessary for success. Also, something I learned from Mark Manson, an influential and inspirational author that I definitely learned from and appreciate. Um, so him, Tim Ferriss, people like that, people like and me and Richard Branson, opportunists, somebody who creates, who jumps from opportunity to opportunity, and whose end goal is to have, is to just be able to take themselves out of the equation, enjoy their lives, and live for the rest of their lives in peace and wealth and solitude. Not necessarily solitude, but for me, solitude would be nice. Probably a couple people. I'd have some social interaction, but it wouldn't have to be in a work environment. I'd have people working for me, of course, if I needed to, and I'd be paying them because that's what they wanted to do with their lives. But I don't want to be a worker. So then there's the S, which is the specialist. That's the person who studies years and years and years to become a computer programmer and then gets really deep into computer programming and then finds a specialist, a niche, and then is an amazing computer programmer and the only person that can program the firmware on the chips for, say, I don't know, certain hearing aids. And then he makes tons of money because everybody looks to him for those specific hearing aids, and he retires happily after years and years of work. That's not what I want with my life, of course, but some people want that. And that's some people's strategy for life. That's what some people want to do with their life. And, nature and nurture, you could say that it's both different in neither, I don't know. It's probably a bit of both, which you choose. And then the I is the last one, is the innovator. That one's the one that's like, let me take a zoom out of this, zoom out and find another way to make this happen. And then find a way to differentiate themselves and bring something new to the world that nobody's ever seen before. And then bring that to the world, evangelize it, make it a thing, and then obviously make money that way. So those are the different strategies in the world, and I thought that so much was wrong with me at first because people were like, "Okay, why are you jumping from strategy to strategy? Why are you not focusing on anything? Why aren't you sticking with something until it succeeds?" And my cousin, shout out to Michael Bookoff, cool guy, really awesome dude. Um, he's a computer programmer, but he's very much an opportunist because he likes a lot of different things, a lot of engagement, a lot of jumping from thing to thing, adventure, etc. And it's hard for him to focus. We've bonded over that, and I've noticed that it's not a bad thing at all. In fact, it's great because I bring passion, I bring energy in the people around me. I want to make sure that I'm not bored. Like boredom is my number one. I don't like it at all. It's very hard for me to sit with myself without doing anything. I mean, anyone else would have just, it's like 1 o'clock and I want to go to sleep. But I had thoughts in my head, so I had to um, make this YouTube video. And it's so funny because I realize that that's not what everybody would think. Some people would be just like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna go to sleep." But that's not my way to do things. I'm the expressor, the enthusiast, the person who wants to take every opportunity to find something new and to experience novelty. And that's how I love my life. And there are consequences to finding finding novelty and everything, and that's not having consistency. So that seems to be what gets to me. And so I've had to learn to create consistency in my life because I'm very adept at finding opportunity and creating opportunity for myself and bringing excitement and passion into the world. But I was never that comfortable and confident with sticking with something through the hardships until I actually succeeded at something. Like, for instance, it took me a while to actually practice guitar instead of just surface level. My practicing a guitar used to be I practice until I got frustrated and then stopped. And then I wouldn't really get good at anything because wouldn't really push through that frustration. And recently I've changed that and I've learned a song that was a little bit more advanced than the one I used to learn, and I'm very happy with myself. Um, but that said, like that's that's part of the journey is figuring out how you work, figuring out the good parts and the bad parts. And once you've accepted the whole deal, you have it's almost like you have this behavior, you become aware of all the intricacies of how this behavior affects your life. You accept that you have this behavior, and then once you have that acceptance, after you've analyzed it and felt all your emotions about it, then you can take that um, you can take that and uh, you can use it to your advantage. So for me, the opportunism is definitely used for my advantage. I can use it, and um, I can, if I need to jump on an opportunity, um, play it out, and then drop it, and then use that wealth to invest again. Then I can do that. And that's when I become. That's what I love about my life. That's what I love about my success, is that um, I know where it comes from. I know my strategy, which means I know how best to utilize my actions. I'm not going to go into some kind of venture as longer. Like, I'm not going to support, like, I'm not going to actively try to build a venture. Like, my best way to do things is not to go deep into it and innovate every part of it. It's to plan, find the people who need to do it, find a way to get out, and then support them doing it. Like, I'm the builder who gets off of it, and that's who I am. So for you, you might be, for instance, an innovator. So you might want to find ways to keep your creativity flowing. You might want to find ways to apply your creativity to influence people. You might want to work on influence skills. You might want to work on the skills you need to influence others once you found a cool idea. You might want to work on learning the structure of society so that when you, like when the Uber guy has to create has to like evangelize Uber, then he needs to be able to, uh, he needs to be able to know the structure of legal systems to be able to push past it. He needs to know the tools of influence. That's his main thing. The tools of his own creativity and the tools of influence. That's what an innovator needs. If you're an opportunist like me, you need the tools of stability. You need to be able to ground yourself, or at least have people around you who ground yourself. You need to have great timing, and you need to be very quick. You need to be able to build something up, and then you also need to be smart enough to automate it and manage your own time. Those things, because you're going to be working on your own a lot, finding opportunities. Because if you can't really work underneath, at least I can't work underneath somebody because I'll always be looking for another opportunity. So the only trust I'll build is not in a person higher up who's depending on me. I build trust um, in collaborations with people who we keep in touch with. We talk about our current ventures, and then every now and then we'll build an opportunity together and then benefit from that. Like that's the types of relationships I need to build. I can't build something that's long term based on like stability because I don't want stability. I want freedom from stability. I want opportunity. I want to be pushed out of my comfort zone, to push myself out of my comfort zone, because that's the way that I get the best opportunities. You don't get the best opportunities close to you. You get the best opportunities when um, you're out of your comfort zone. Um, so like, and then a builder would need to do the opposite. A builder would need to make sure that they want influence just like the innovator, but they also need to make sure that they have respect. They also understand respect. They understand how to lead. They're a very good leader. So builders, all those three things. They're a leader. And they need to know how to influence, and they need to know how to incentivize people. So like lead people, influence people, and then also build themselves into communities, and integrate themselves into the communities, build trust, build a brand, something that people can rely on. That's what a builder needs. And then the last one is a specialist. A specialist needs to know how to build knowledge, build skills. Like their main thing is going to be skills, and they also need to know how to negotiate with somebody um, who's the leader, so that they get what they need. A specialist needs to make sure that they can trust the person in charge, because a specialist usually won't be the person in charge, because like they're not really leading. I mean, there have been specialists in charge, but they weren't really making the decisions. They're just putting together the people that did, and then working on the product. Like they're not going to be the ones making the executive decisions. They're going to be the ones that are delving deep into the hard work, delving deep into the work that's necessary for them to succeed. Um, so those are just the four quadrants, and it really helps because learning how I act and how I react, and what my intentions are in this world and what my strategies are, really helps me work with my strengths. And working with your strengths, oh man, once you work with your strengths, there's no stopping you. So I wish you the best, guys, and I want you guys to think about whether you're a builder, an opportunist, a strategist, or an innovator, and what you can do in your life now to change that. Any comments on that, please look below and comment in the links. And I want you to subscribe and share this with your friends if you've gotten this far, because you obviously like it. And I hope that I am teaching you and inspiring you to be the best of yourself. Um, yeah, later, Gators. Stop by next time for another Spot of Joe.